By the end of this chapter, you'll use the modeling tool and booleans to create walls and windows and doors that make your castle look a lot more complete like this. Let's get started.
Welcome back, What?
But
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. In this chapter, you guys already have created all the pillars, all the beams in the interior hall. Now we are going to add walls around our hall, and we are going to cut them to create doors and windows. Let's go.
Farad, shall we move on to the walls?
Yes, let's put on the wall around our interior hall.
Okay, so in order to do the walls, do you remember when we brought in our starter
There was a
content?
folder about the walls, right? Architecture, yes.
That's right. So if you look at architecture, it has some predefined looks of walls and floors for you. And I like to use this because it comes with a pivot point in the corner, which allows you to scale the wall really quickly rather than just bringing in a cube. So if we bring in a cube, we'll have to change the pivot point, for instance, ourselves, because it's opening on both sides. And if you bring in a wall, for instance, from here, so let's try the 400 by 400 wall, that will work just fine. Make sure our snapping is on so it snaps to the floor, and then drag it back in so it snaps. You can see that our pivot point,
easily expand it.
we can easily create the wall. So let's go ahead and bring it one more time so you guys see how we did it. I'm going to go ahead and drag the wall into here, place it in the corner. As you can see, it's slightly out. I want to go ahead and bring back my layout one more time so I know what I'm doing. And I can look at it from the front angle or right angle. Yes, that's the wall. As you can see, the wireframes being selected. And I'm going to go ahead and just fine tune this, make sure it's in the right spot. So it's here now. It's poking a little bit through the outsides. It's not poking through the floor, which is not good. I can see a hole there. Let's try to bring it in. Okay, so 100 wouldn't work here. We need to go for 50 grid snaps to be working with smaller increments. 50 is not working for me either. I'm going to do 10. Yes, so that's what I want there. Okay, and I want it to come slightly through my floor. So if I look here, you can see it's intersecting with the floor a little bit, and the wall's going a little bit outside, which is perfect. Now I can go ahead and use the scale by hitting R, and I can go ahead and scale this all the way up to my ceiling. So if I bring back my ceiling, I've hidden it. I'm going to go back up here in my folder and then unhide ceiling. So I see exactly where my ceiling is. And my wall is poking through it, which is perfect. Now I'm going to select my wall again.
Expand it all the way to the right. So this is the part that you want to be like Faraz rather than be like me, because if you don't really pay attention to the details of how you're setting up your wall, as Faraz explained in the previous chapters, you're going to have light leaks when we go later on, and then you have to come back and fix everything. So be very precise. Make sure you cover every single corner. Just as you watched when we were expanding the wall, there was a hole down there. Make sure you cover every single area. Faraz, are we good?
We are good. And for the sake of us making this wall, I want to show you guys one thing. First of all, I want to go ahead and hide everything that is inside. So the inside folder, I'm going to hide it so we can clearly visualize the walls. And then I want you to pay close attention to the thickness of my wall. It's perfect. From the outside, there's a little bit of beam and pillar poking through. And from the inside, that's the same thing. I think the thickness is perfectly fine. If you're unhappy with it, you can make it slightly thinner. But for me, I like it. So I'm going to Control Z and keep it the same. Now that wall is already created. I'm going to go ahead and use E to hit rotate, and then Alt drag to now duplicate this wall for the other side. As you can see, it's perfect, but it's sitting a little bit outside. My pillars are now hidden. So I'm going to have to go ahead and use the translation, bring it in just a little bit more.
A little bit more.
A little bit more. And now we can see that the wall is also poking through here just a bit and here just a bit as well.
Which is great.
Let's go to unlit mode so we can clearly visualize. It's looking perfect. I do have a little bit of my pillar here, which is perfect. And then I can see it from the inside and on the outside. And now I have to go ahead to another side mode here, the front mode, so I can see that my wall is incomplete. I need to go ahead and pull it. Yes. So I can go ahead and scale R and then pull it out all the way to the side.
Perfect.
Let's zoom in. It's now poking perfectly. I love that. You can even scale it up a little bit more if you want.
Now we have to duplicate for the other two sides because they're exactly the mirror, right?
Yes, they are. So I'm going to go ahead now and duplicate this. So hit W, and then we're going to bring this wall. So drag it to the other side. I'm going to turn on my bigger snaps. So let's go to 50. Let's go to top view, right? So I see my wall. I'm going to literally duplicate this and then bring it to the other side,
Boom.
just like that. And it's going to sit perfectly in the right place. Look at that. Gorgeous. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this wall, the short side wall, and then duplicate this, hold Alt, bring it all the way here. It's going to sit perfectly
Perfect.
in the right spot.
And we have
I'm
all
gonna
of
go
our
inside.
walls.
And it looks like we've got all of our walls in a perfect place.
But Faraz, the wall covered everything.
Yes.
Don't we need windows and doors?
We need windows and doors. That is correct. So if you're inside, you'll see that it's completely
Darkness.
dark. Let's
Like
go
your
then.
heart.
I said that joke already. You can't use it again. Of course I did already. Come on, make your own jokes. Okay, so I'm going to hit H whilst I've selected my ceiling. So I let in some light. Let there be light.
Let there be light.
And then I'm going to restore my perspective window. Now we need to create our windows and doors. So for our windows and doors, this is based on our reference and our preference. You can, of course, create your own version of windows and doors. But we're going to be using something called the Boolean tool, which allows us to cut inside. We've already used the polygon cut, plane cut, polygon cut. I forgot the name of it. But we can now go ahead and use a different tool for the same purpose because we're going to cut through our walls.
So what you guys are realizing while teaching you how to make the interior hall of Osaka Castle, we are going through different features of modeling tools. You can achieve different results because when you're making your scene, then you can decide maybe I want 6 doors or 2 windows. This is all up to you how you want to design your castle.
Yes.
But for us, we are going based off our own references.
So for you guys to understand, I want the main corridor first scene to happen here. So the ninja is going to be killing the guard here, and he's going to be entering through a door. So we know there's going to be a door here. And then we know that at the end here, there's no door because that's where Haruki is sitting with the Shogun armor decoration. So there's no door here. There is a door here, and there's going to be a door in the center here. And there's going to be another door in the center here. And the same thing is going to be mirrored on the other side. Farhad, how can I create my doors and my windows?
So just like how we created the previous shapes before, we have to go and cut through our wall with the shape.
Yes.
Let's go to our modeling tool.
Okay, but this time we're going to do it differently, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to create the
A
shape
box.
of our door
Yes.
first, right? So we're going to use a box, bring it down here, because I know my first door is going to be right here,
Yes.
and my second door is going to be right here, very similar to our reference.
Yeah, so our
right?
door is 4 meter wide.
Okay, so we need to make this 4 meters.
Yes.
So the width has to be 400.
yes, perfect.
Okay, all right. And then in terms of the height, how high do you want us to be?
Let's just eyeball it.
Okay, what about our reference? It goes literally until
All the way,
pillar.
so 3 meters.
Yeah, so this goes 3 meters. So our depth, is that our depth? Nope.
No,
that's
that's
so this
height.
can stay 100 and our height can be 300.
Perfect.
Okay. So it cuts through literally. And I'll bring this back so that it's literally intersecting our mesh. So you can imagine once we use this cube to cut through here, you'll create this nice little shape hole inside your wall. Now, does this have to go all the way into the pillar? Not really. You won't really notice a difference. So you can actually go ahead and bring this even lower because the 300 is the center of this beam. So you can even bring this even lower and just cut
All the way.
just a little bit like this. It doesn't have to be all the way to the center. So we've created the first one. Hit accept. This is one door. We know there's going to be another door here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and
Duplicate it.
bring it. Oh, my snapping is off. I want this to be precise. So let's go to 100, duplicate, and let's make sure this is sitting in the center. That's my second door. I know there's going to be a door right here, right?
That's a door in the center.
Yes. So
That's the one that Getsuro will come inside through.
so duplicate using holding Alt and drag, and then rotate by E, 90 degrees. Bring this here. This I can go to the top to make sure this is front and center. So let's do that quickly. Let's go to the top. Is this sitting in the center? No.
No.
Doesn't look like it's center. So we need to bring this literally right there. So 50. Nope. We need to go to
10.
10. Boom.
Yes.
Okay. So it's aligning right in the center. Perfect. So we just made the door. I just want to make sure that everything is aligned perfectly because my eyes work like a ruler and I have a feeling that my pillars are slightly offsetted again. So we're going to go to the top, and I just noticed on the 50 snap, right, with these grids, I noticed that my pillar is not sitting in these lines. And I think that's why it feels like it's on.
OCD.
Even though it's 4 meters, like if I check it's 4 meters is correct, I think it will look better if I turn off my snapping and I bring this here. So it's sitting with these lines and this one sitting here. So let's go back inside our perspective view. Yes, that looks more.
Are you happy,
like
Faraz, now?
Yes. I mean, it was a very negligible difference, but I just had to make sure it's perfect. And I know you guys are going to face the same thing. So we're showing you what could happen in the process. And now this looks perfect. So we've got this door right here. We've got this 2 doors. Let's go ahead and quickly duplicate these 2 doors. Make sure my snapping is on and bring them to the other side. Hold Alt and drag.
Boom.
And now we've got these doors, 4 meters in.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. Okay, that goes to the corridor. This side has no door. And now we want to create our windows.
Yes.
For the windows, because these boxes will actually not exist anymore, we're only using them to make the cuts. So you can just tweak them however you like. I'm going to bring it up here and create this entire big window on the top. So I'll use Alt, drag, bring it to the top, and I will enlarge it by hitting R on the sides.
So you want an entire window on the top.
Yes. And I can turn off the scale snapping so I'm not cutting into the pillar as much, like a little bit, right? And I'm covering that entire part. So this is going to be cut through. And I want to do the same thing here, but smaller windows. So maybe one window here, another one here, and another one here. So 3 windows in total.
This is all design choices.
All design choices. You're going to see what happens when we make the cuts. So I'm going to use W, go to translation, hold Alt, drag, and I'll bring this guy to the corner here.
Make it smaller.
Make sure it's sitting in the center because I have OCD. Where is it? Okay, in center of this 2. I'll turn off snapping. Here I can eyeball it. Okay, and I'll go back into my perspective mode. Now it's in the center. The top part doesn't matter because there's no mesh there to cut, so it can stay like that. And this is perfect. So I'll just duplicate this. Hold Alt, drag, duplicate. I need snapping on now. Hold Alt, drag, duplicate.
Another one.
Another one.
And mirror to the other side.
And I can just take this 3 and then mirror it. Just bring it to the other side. Hold Alt, drag to the other side. I need another window here as well. Again, design choice. So I'm going to take this one. It's the same size anyways. Hold Alt and drag. If your pillars, just like mine, are slightly different and offset, you're going to go ahead and fix them. So we're going to go to the top. We know that this box is near the end here. And I have my 50 snap on. Again, for you guys might be different. And I can see that they're not perfectly in the right spot. So I'll turn off the snapping. I'll bring this one right here. It's still 4 meters, but it's just a small increase.
I will call this Faraz effect.
Could be like 3.9 or 4.1 that is causing the challenge for me. So I'll go back to perspective. And now when I bring the box, it should be perfect.
Boom.
Look at that. Yep, it's cutting the same amount. And this is good. So now that you've actually created the layout for all of your cuts, the rest of it is super easy and super fast and super fun. So Farad, how do we cut through these?
Boolean. Let's go to modeling.
Okay, so we're going to go to the modeling mode. And after this is just going to be super fast. We're going to find Boolean, which is going to be in model right here. It's not highlighted because we haven't selected anything. You're going to go ahead and select the 2 meshes that you're going to cut, and you're going to do them one by one. So we're going to select our wall and then shift select the first item that we want to cut through with. You can do it the other way around because in the Boolean tool, you'll have the operation of difference or similarity. So you can choose either one. So if you select, let's say the cube first and then the wall, that's fine too. Let's go to Boolean, and you can see
it's opposite.
Exactly. So we can choose a difference AB or difference BA
Boom.
to create the cut. And in any case, if you were not precise with your cut and your size, you can then go ahead and move this and actually scale it so that you can get it right. I'll hit cancel because I don't want to do that. I have already come up with the right measurements. So I'll select this 2 again, go to Boolean. My cut is done. Here it's asking you if you want to go ahead and create a new object. We do want to go ahead and do that because we want to go ahead and create a new wall out of this. So let's hit accept. And as you can see, if we pull up the details panel and select this wall right here,
You have a
if I find it, you can see that it is in a content levels generated folder. Whenever you use the modeling mode to create a new shape, you will have this new folder pop up called generated. These are all the meshes that we've created since the beginning. Do you remember the metal ball?
yes in the
Right?
early chapters.
Yes. So I've created a new wall now with this Boolean inside it. Now I'm going to go ahead and create the second version of this wall by just selecting this window, hitting this Boolean, and now the cut has been made. Hit accept. Let's take a look at what happened. Let's go look for our mesh again.
Oh,
We've
it's like-
created a new mesh, an all new mesh that has both. So I have created one with just the door, one with the door and the window. And this side looks perfect. So let's go ahead and do the same for the other ones. Select the wall, select your first thing that you're going to cut with, Boolean, and now the difference is wrong, difference AB.
Boom.
And then again, if you don't want to create new meshes every time, you can change these output types. For me, it's completely fine. I don't mind making new meshes. Hit accept. And then let's do the wall, this door, Boolean, accept, wall, window. Oh, I didn't select it right. Wall, window, shift select, Boolean, accept, Boolean, accept. Last one, Boolean, and that's a wrong operation because we selected it by inverse. Hit accept.
We have
Now-
all of our walls and windows.
So Farhad, let's quickly go
Bring
ahead
back.
and bring back everything that we've hidden, right? As you can see, first of all, we have now something called the Boolean mesh. These are our walls. The name has changed because we've created these new meshes. We can go ahead and select all of this, create a new folder, or actually they can be inside architecture. We have architecture, so I'll drag and drop it in here. So we have the architecture folder now, right? That has our floor, our ceiling, and the walls with the windows and the doors. And then we're going to bring back our whole horizontal inside. And just like that, if you come in from the outside, you'll notice that our castle is feeling even more complete.
Yeah.
Now, guys, I know this chapter was quite heavy, but you guys have actually reached the end. We're so close now. It's time to start putting in more detail into our castle interior, and it's going to come to life. I'm proud of you for making it until this point.
See you guys in the next chapter.